Hey guys, so I'm going to talk about why it's actually pretty easy to thrive as a virtual bookkeeper. So, what if I told you that it was simple to reach six figures in your accounting bookkeeping business? Like, would you believe me? If I told you that you were only 2,000 leads away from six figures, would you say, Bryce, doesn't make any sense? Bryce, how can you predict that? And Bryce, like, how can you be so confident in those numbers? So I'm going to kind of walk you through today why it's so easy to actually thrive as a bookkeeper as compared to like other business models and just compared to other things I've tried in my life. Right? I've tried a lot of different business models over the course of the last 12 years. I've done e-commerce. I tried to have a web design agency. I tried to do a social media marketing agency. I did Amazon. I did eBay. I did a I did a food prep service. I did senior citizen personal training. I've done a lot of different things in the pursuit of finding my, full-time business that I could run, right? Because that was a really big thing for me, was to have my own business and to actually be able to support myself financially. So I'm going to kind of break it down and just talk about it today. Also, if you want some help growing your business, like maybe been thinking about growing your business, but it's just not quite going the way that you wanted, that you hoped, or if you knew that if you had a proven process with procedures and step-by-step guidance to help you go reach your goal, and you feel like that would have some value to you and make it easier for you to actually go and achieve what you want, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of a mentorship program. So that's what we're talking about. So there's really three reasons why it's so much easier to actually start this business and to make six figures in this business than other business models. Number one is because clients love you. So this is a very, very interesting idea because of the fact that if a person likes you, they sign up with you, you do a good job, they're going to stay with you for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I see the average time that a client stays with a firm on average is 7 years. Okay, let us say that you are charging, so I'm going to get out my calculator. I didn't have this math prepared, unfortunately, before I came on. So let's say that you have we'll say you're getting paid $500 a month. Now, $500 a month is kind of our firm minimum. That's how we teach our students in our program to charge, like the minimum price point. Now, if you're charging below $500 a month right now, that's okay. That's why people use a mentorship program, is to be able to kind of get past those sticking points. So let's say you have 500 and then you multiply it by 12 months in a year, right? So that's $6,000. Now, if you multiply that by 7, what is that, $42,000? Let me just check my calculator. It's fairly early in the morning. $42,000, right? That is a very crazy client value. If you think about that, over 7 years, that's a lot of money. If you multiply it by 10 people, right? We'll say 10 people. You've collected $420,000 within 7 years. Okay, what is that? $42,000 divided by $420,000 divided by 7. That is $60,000 per year with only 10 people. We're only talking about 10 people. That is like, okay, so to put that in perspective, think about if you were selling like an e-commerce widget. Let's say that you were selling whiteboard magnets. I have a whiteboard magnet on my desk. If you sell a pack of these for $10, most people are not going to have to buy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versions of these, right? So it's like a one-time sale for $10. So what happens when you have people actually like the service? Well, they like it, they use it forever, and they're great. But they can't keep rewarding you with their gratitude by paying you over and over and over again. So those businesses, you have to sell 1 million units of stuff just to make good money, versus us, we only need 5, 10, 15, 20 different people to pay us in order to make a really significant amount of money. So that was like a really just a big thing that you have an advantage over if you can get clients to love you. The next thing, and the next reason why it's important too with clients loving you, is because the results keep compounding. So if you think about it, for a company, let's say that you offer some sort of like package. Let's say that you are a personal trainer, right? And you sell a package. Well, every single month, if you sell a package of like $2,000, $3,000 for like each different like person, then you're always starting over at zero. So you sell package on day number one, you collect $2,000. Great. The person maybe like will stay with you for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever, however long the duration is. Once that person has paid you, in a lot of cases, they might only re-sign up to like one time or maybe two times, right? We'll say like they're only going to pay you one time. That means on month 3, month 4, month 5, on month 2 you start at 0, you have to go get another 2,000. On month 3 you start at 0, you have to get another 2,000. You're always starting back over at 0. Versus for this type of business, you're actually starting where you left off. So in a business like the personal training example, if they get to $10,000 a month, you're not really at $10,000 a month. You just made $10,000 in a month. Versus for our business, when it's recurring revenue, when you make $10,000 in a single month, you technically make about 120, about 110, just in case one of them like drops off during the year, right? So it's about $110,000 a year right there, just from that one month, because it's repeating, because it's recurring. So everything you do, every conversation you have with a potential client can actually compound and pay you 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 42 times, right? So it's like, actually, in our example, 84 times, but 7 years. It's just like, it just stacks on itself and it always compounds. And it's just like, you can take your foot off the gas when it comes to marketing after you hit certain points, because you know the money is going to be there every single month. It's just a totally different business model when you get things going. Now, next thing is the marketing. So this is why marketing is very simple. So you can do it 2 ways. You can have an audience, or sorry, not 2 ways. You can do a couple different ways. Audience, you can do ads, you can do brute force. We'll say audience, finesse, and then brute force. Okay, so audience, that means like, let's say you're making like content like me, like I'm making content for mentorship program. Now, in our program, we do not teach our students to make posts to get accounting bookkeeping clients. It's just not needed. They know they have the need, and the trust level is built while you're on the consultation call. Versus for something like this, when you're talking about like a mentorship program, the trust is built before the consultation call. So it's a slightly different process. That's why I make a lot of content for the mentorship program. We never make content for the accounting firm. It's just not needed. So it's an audience, right? So you're basically making content to help people out in advance before they end up working with you, so that they get a preview into what it's like to actually work with you, and they know kind of like what you're about, they know your beliefs, they just know everything about you. It's just a very, very qualified kind of person when they come from your audience. Now, for people like us, accountants and bookkeepers, you're generally not going to be doing things that build an audience. If you're selling like tax prep, okay, you can, because like everyone in the United States or in the world can utilize your service. But if you're going for more of like a specialized business that has a certain like revenue amount, then the content generally is a little bit not the best, because most people that watch the content are people that don't really have a huge amount of money. Okay, it's just kind of what it is. How much time do I have? 37 minutes? Okay. It's just kind of what it is. So it doesn't really make sense for you to do that. The next way that you can do it is called finesse. I call it finesse. Basically, it is the direct response. So it's like being very, very, very skillful in the words that you use to tell people about your service and like how you're going to help them out. You're generally doing an ad. You probably have about 30 seconds in order to actually hook the person, give them information, get them tied to your story, and it's very, very, very challenging. Even to this day, I'm still not an amazing expert at it. I've made a lot of money writing posts. Don't get me wrong. I've had posts that have given me $20,000, $40,000, $50,000. So I like wrote a post that gave me $50,000, right, over the course of like 6 months to a year. Okay, but that to me, I still, in terms of like the other two, whether it's audience or brute force, I'd rather do those other two than the finesse direct response, because it's just so many things have to line up properly in order for you to get it to work, right? And it's just like most people, if you have under 10 bookkeeping clients, you probably don't have enough understanding of the market and their needs to make a piece of content that's going to speak to a wide percentage of those people. So what I mean by that is like when you're making like direct response marketing, you're writing things, right, that are going to be attractive to the person. So you have to be able to know what is the majority of the business owners that you're trying to attract going to be looking for and wanting. If you don't know that because maybe you don't have any clients, the reason why you don't have any clients is probably because you don't have any leads, or you haven't been able to convince them on a consultation call to work with you because you don't know them well enough. And that's going to lead into, if you can't get a client here from marketing, like you can't get leads here and you can't close leads, your writing is just going to be an extension of what's already going. So like for me, for example, I can make a piece of content to talk to accountants and bookkeepers, let's say, for example, because I'm that person, number one. And then number two, I've spoken on the phone, like on consultation calls, 2,500 of them. I work directly with 364. Like we only accept like 10% of people that apply for a program into our program. And then on top of that, I have Facebook with 40,000 people. I've talked to every single one of them. So I know specifically what is the words, phrase, and things that we say in order to make sure it works, right? But if you have 3 clients and you only talk to like 4 people because 3 of your clients were referrals, one of them was a cold lead, it's like you don't have enough information on them to actually like write something to close them down. So that's why that's a little bit more complex. So I skip that, right? So instead, another thing you can do is called brute force. Okay. So I call brute force, and I love this brute force thing because if you think about it, if you know exactly how much work you have to do to go and get a client, you can just work in multiples of that number to get the clients you want. So let's say that 1% of the people that accept a friend request end up working with you. Okay? That's again, a lot of things that line up there. Like you have to know like who are you targeting, who is the person you're going to talk to, what do you have to say. But I'm just going to assume that you know how to do that stuff. If you don't, we help you with that in the program. Like we help you identify who to go after, what to say, and how to really build these initial criteria and KPIs. KPI is a key performance indicator. Okay, so 2,000. We'll say it's 1% of people. Okay, so if I want to go and get 20 clients who pay me $500 a month. And again, 500 is our minimum number we like to go for all of our clients. We just say 500 minimum. They can't afford to pay that. You either have to improve your sales skills or just move on to a better target. Okay, so what is that? 20 divided by 0.01. Okay, so if I know I need 20 clients, and I know that I know that if there's 1% of the people that accept my friend request, I need 2,000 people to accept my friend request. So I know the faster I want to get to 20 clients, the faster I have to get 2,000 people to accept my connection requests. So I can try and send out 1 million friend requests in one day, or I can do it over the course of the year and just send out like 5 per day over the course of a year, right? That's all it really takes. If you get 5 people every day, divided by 365. Sorry, if you get 5.5, so that's about, we'll round up to 6 people a day. Every day for a year, you're automatically going to be at 20 clients. Now, that's a long time. A year's a long time to wait to be at 10K per month, right? I'd rather do it in 90 days. I'd rather do it in under 6 months. So that's our mentorship program will speed up that process for you so you don't quite need as many people because you can actually mix 2 of them. So we can mix brute force with semi-finessed direct response. And then that's going to actually do it. So when I say semi-direct response, like semi-finessed, that's when we show you how to go and build referral partnerships with people that can automatically send the clients to you. So it cuts down how much work you need to do because they might already have 2,000 people each. Especially if you have a referral partner that's doing $1 million a year in their business. They might have 20,000 of these clients, right? So they actually might have 200 clients they can send to over time if you really wanted to, right? So it's like each one of your referral partners can send you, let's say on an example, right? If each one of your referral partners sends you, let's say 10 referral partners, and then for that, if each one of them sends you between 1 to 4 consultation calls, we'll just say on example, we'll say they give you 3 consults on average. That's about 30 consults per year. Now, for our students are closing these referral calls at close to 90%. It's very rare if they get a referral that lead does not close. It's very rare. Very, very rare. So we'll just say worst case scenario, 30 times 0.9, that is 27 clients right there. All you needed was 10 referral partners. So what that means is, how long does it actually take to get a referral partner? It takes about 15 minutes to do a referral partner call. So 15 minutes, that means you need to spend 150 minutes on the phone. What is that? 150 divided by 60. That's 2.5 hours to get to 6 figures. That's 2.5 hours of phone time to get 6 figures. It's very, very simple when you know what you're doing. Now, the trick with that is how do you actually get the referral partners to want to send leads to you? Like, we have other videos that kind of break down how to build out your referral partnership call. In our program, we like walk you through and give you like scripts of what to say, and like we review those calls that you do with those people to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing, like to speed up that process. But it's just one of those things where it's like, when you do the right things, it does not have to be hard, right? The reason why a lot of people struggle with starting an accounting and bookkeeping business is because there's so many things that you don't know that it causes you to kind of dabble in a lot of different things, but we never really make progress towards our goal. So a good example of this is like, as soon as I figured out that it only took me 2,000 people knowing or being connected with me to go and get to 6 figures, my whole thought process changed, because before then I was like walking door to door to try and get clients. I was driving my car to go and like find addresses to then go door to door. I was trying to like go and like get like mini databases from like my local community college to go and like call business owners. I was trying like, I tried Upwork, I tried to like blog. So it's like I tried a bunch of things, but I never really knew how to do it fully to hit a wide enough range of targets. I didn't have any KPIs. Like, I didn't know 2,000 business owners all I knew. I thought that, you know, you just do 1 or 2 things, maybe it's supposed to like pop off, and then now you're making 6 figures. I didn't know that like you could brute force this stuff. So I didn't have videos like this that could help me. I didn't have a mentor in the beginning. I ended up having to spend like 6 months to a year before I started even like buying courses, right? And it's just like, once you start learning what to do, and once you start getting around the right people, and you start learning the right tactics and steps, you grow your business a lot faster, right? So it's just one of those things. Now, if you want some help, okay, so like maybe you've been watching videos, maybe you've been trying stuff, maybe you've been going door to door or like going to networking events, but it's just not quite working for you. If you feel that you're not making the progress you want towards your goals, and you knew that if you had help from someone who was where you're trying to be, and someone that's helped other people do the same thing, if you feel like that has some value and that it would help you out, I just invite you to go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video. Book a call to see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program. On the call, basically what we're going to do is we're going to take a look, like, where are you right now? Where do you want to go? And then we're going to talk about, okay, so if I believe that the mentorship program could be the right step for you, I'm going to basically say, okay, so this is what we're basically offering. This is the game plan to be able to go and take us to that next level. And then here's the time frame with which I think it's going to take to reach the goal. And then from there, you can be like, okay, cool, I really like this. Or, you know, maybe I want to kind of think about it. Most people, you know, do your homework beforehand, like research a lot of videos beforehand, understand what's going on. So, because inside these different videos, I basically tell you what's inside the program. So by the time you get to the phone with me, it should already be like, you basically know about the program. It's just like really seeing what are the last minute customizations we're going to make for you specifically to get you to that goal. So what I don't like is for people like come on like, oh, well, tell me about your service. It's like, no, you need to already know this stuff beforehand, do your homework before the call. And then on the call, we're basically going to talk about customization. Okay? So if that's you, I'd love to see you on the call. If you're not quite ready, it's A-okay too. I will see you inside the next video. Have a good one.